Greetings, greetings, greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile I, Selassie I, Jah Rastafari, and His beloved Empress, Menen Asfa. You're logged on to and with Alkebulan Empress Sounds. Empress Isheba is on the control, and I have a special guest today. He goes by the name of Brother Uwe Banton. Welcome. How are you?
Salam, Tenaistilin, greetings to each and every one, all the listeners, greetings to you, my sister.
Give thanks.
And I'm fine, and I'm happy to be here and to talk to you. Looking forward.
Well, the pleasure is all mine, brother. But first, I want you to tell the audience from in the very beginning, when did you start getting into reggae music?
Actually, I was still going to school. That was in the year that Bob Marley did his last tour here in Europe, in Germany, in 1980. I was about 14, like going 15. And I grew up listening to a lot of music, but mostly, what was popular during those days. But when I heard Bob's music, and then after that, heard other artists, from reggae, reggae music genre, if you want to call it that, it hit differently. I kind of felt a different vibe. It was, it felt so real. It was just like very unlike, the usual type of pop music, that we grew up with, So, yeah, it was a different vibe right from the beginning. So I started listening to reggae about 1980. Yeah.
You know what, Brother Uwe? It's interesting that you said Bob Marley, because in that same year, I had a cousin. He's still alive. His name is Cousin Kerry. And I remember telling Cousin Kerry, I said, who is that person on the television? He says it's Bob Marley. I said, oh, I like that music. And he's like, this is reggae music. And I said, well, I want to go see him. Can we go see him? He says, he died 6 months ago. Did you hear? He said that. And you know what? I felt a sense of sorrow and sadness. And as I'm telling you this right now, I don't tell a lot of people about this. Or when I spoke to him a couple of years ago, we spoke about this, and he says, wow, and look at you now playing music. I said, isn't that interesting?
Interesting. Also, I had a very good school friend, my best schoolmate, so to speak, and he actually introduced me to Bob Marley. It was like I had heard reggae songs before on the radio, but I didn't really identify it, as being reggae. Every now and then you would on the radio, you would hear a Desmond Decker or a Jimmy Cliff or Inner Circle around that time with Jacob Miller. They were quite popular, but it wasn't really like it was that kind of, in your face, like it wasn't like highlighted that much,
Yeah.
But when my friend introduced me to Bob Marley was the first time. Me and him, we used to meet after school and sit down and listen music. He has bought a new album from his favorite artist. I had bought an album of my favorite artist, and we would meet and just listen to each other's records. And that afternoon when he played Bob Marley to me, as I said, it hit totally different, and it kind of, I felt, it grew on me so intensely that when the following year in 1981 in May, when Bob passed and I heard it on the radio, in the morning, early morning, that he had passed away in Miami. I remember going to school and telling my friend, "Oh, did you hear this morning? They said Bob Marley has died." And he shrugged his shoulders and said, "Yeah, well, one of those things." And it really, I was sad. I was sad that morning, So I really felt it differently. I can say that from the very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, and here it was at that time, and here it is now, that due to his transition, due to the positive messages that he has shared, and the education, you have a song called Education as well, and we'll get into that in a little while, but because of his education, because of his liberty, and because of the spiritual aspect of Rastafari, so many people of different ethnicities, of various backgrounds, they still gravitate towards his music. What do you see as this catalyst of change that has been throughout the world because of Bob Marley? What have you noticed?
Well, first and foremost, I would say even bringing an awareness towards the Rastafari as a movement, Rastafari as a people, and also about His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, because, had it not been for the Rastafari movement, I think the world would have long forgotten about His Imperial Majesty. And because Bob, many times I hear people criticizing Bob about, apparently commercializing reggae music and commercializing, watering down, the message of Rastafari and so on. But in truth, Bob was so radical and so uncompromised, in the way how he communicated his faith, because he would never, deny his faith. He would always open his shows with greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I. He would always speak of His Majesty, about, the entire background and reason for the movement, about, a united Africa, about the unification of mankind, about the message of the Bible, and in particular the meaning that it has for the redemption of the black man redemption. And beyond that, he still addressed a wider audience. He didn't just sing it to an African audience, and this is how, a man like myself, felt like this music was talking to me, and we are few, we are like, sometimes we feel like one in a million, but still, he got us, he got our heart. And not just in Germany where I grew up, but all over the world. And this is why, one of the main reasons why I think nowadays, we have brothers and sisters in Rastafari, all over the world, South America, Asia, Australia, Europe, and of course, in particular, Africa. And it's a worldwide thing, movement.
The movement continues, and I believe it's about respect, right? So even though he shared messages of I people and what is needed for self-sufficiency and salvation, he had a way of connecting and uniting everyone for the love of love.
Yes, true. And I think this is why he was so successful in what he did, because people could feel that genuine love, in spite of the radical message that he was delivering. People could feel that love from him. People felt that it wasn't just like something superficial, he wasn't pretending. when he was singing about one love. He wasn't pretending when he was singing about could you be loved. It was something real, and it was something that, like Bob always used to say, the biggest man you ever see, you ever seen, was once a baby. He intentionally, expressed it in a way that his message would have to even be understood by a baby, and not just by an intellectually educated academic.
And I believe once a person is able to communicate as such, you become more effective with connection, because that's what connections are all about. I'm pretty sure the word empathy was not a thing from back in the days. I'm in the mental health field, so within empathy, it's something that it's a skill. There's something that is learned, but Bob had, as you mentioned, he was genuine and he was authentic in sharing his message to the world and with the world. And for such, I grateful for everything that he has done and everything that he still continues to do throughout the world. So give thanks for your reflection on Brother Bob, Brother Uwe Banton.
Yes, I give thanks, and through Bob, then Bob inspired us to listen more reggae music. It wasn't just Bob alone we listened to, but listening to Bob kind of opened the door to our consciousness, to open up and to want to understand and want to learn about what this special message of Rastafari within reggae music was about, and that is how we then, after we listened to Peter Tosh, we listened to Burning Spear, we listened to Joseph Hill Culture, and you name them, so we give thanks for that to the pioneers of reggae music.
It's true. As you were talking, it made me think about the Bible. And it made me think of when Brother Bob was singing, it was as though you were at church. Well, what we call, in the physical aspect, but because of the lyrical contents within the music, you felt the spirituality. You felt that connection to His Imperial Majesty. You felt the oneness of how we needed to live within ourselves. We needed to live with other people, and I think that is the reason why his music continues to be so successful to this day, because we say within Rastafari. Let me tell you something, Brother Uwe Banton. I had a conversation with the original reference. He's an artist, and although we've been saying for years that Rastafari is a way of life, the Native American Indians, what they do is a way of life. But you know what, Brother Uwe Banton? The essence of Rastafari is spirituality first. And I believe that we have to start changing the narrative of what we are saying about Rastafari. It is about spirituality first, and then everything else is after. And it made me think about that, like I said a couple weeks ago, that if we really sit down and if we really look at the essence, that is where it starts. It is.
Yeah.
So I give thanks once again to Brother Bob. Forward.
If you allow me to just give you a little more of insight about myself and my background, I don't have a background growing up in church. My parents were not like regular church goers. When we were small, maybe the only time we ended up in church was maybe around Christmas, but at the same time, my parents were not opposed to church and religion. We didn't grow us up in a particular atheist, kind of philosophy. But when I started to listen to Bob and then trying to understand his lyrics, I instantly, although I had very little idea at first of what he was singing about, one could feel that spirituality, and it's so open, because when you listen to songs like Zion Train is coming our way, we'll be forever loving Jah, it is that deep spirituality is there, and it's eventually that made me want to learn more about the background, the spirituality of Rastafari, and eventually led me to take up the Bible in my own hands and wanted to find out that truth, that I heard from the Rastaman, until I find, for example, I find Revelation 5, verse 5, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah has prevailed. And then that made me realize, hold on, this is the same thing that I've heard from the Rastaman. So there, for me, I had the proof, the connection of what the Rastaman was saying. There's even reference in the Bible. It's not just something they made up, and yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time to let I understand the inception, right? Give thanks, Brother Uwe Banton.
Yes, give thanks, yeah.
Yes,
Rastafari.
Selassie I. So look, that's been playing in the foreground. Why don't you tell the audience about this particular track, please? Go on.
Which song is it? People Need to Be Free?
The people need to be free, dub. Mm-hmm.
The people need to be free, yeah? Okay. This song is, when did I release this? 2022. And it is an inspiration that I think this it's a message that, has been, been a topic in reggae music, for years and years and years, and still will continue to be, of relevance in the message of Rastafari until the people are truly freed, and not just physically, but also mentally and spiritually, because mental slavery is still a reality in these days. And that is all over the world, as long as people are bound in this, illusion of, if you want to call it Western, or, what we as Rasta call the Babylon lifestyle, which kind of puts materialistic, aims and objectives over everything. And but as human beings, we know that we are, more than just our body, like if you want to go into the Bible, Christ teaches us that man don't live by bread alone, so there's much more to life, as we know, our body and everything that we see around us is the matter, so to speak. But what is the matter, or the material aspect of our lives without the spirit? Because it's only through the spirit. This is how, if you want to put it in that way, this is how this dust, becomes, takes on void and shape and form and becomes alive. Everything that is every living being is because of the spirit of life, that dwells within,
And as Rastas, we know this, and that is the reason why we need to change the narrative. Instead of saying it's a way of life, this is where the essence begins. And it's not that we forgot, it's not that we don't know, it's because of the rote and the narrative that was socially conditioned to us. A lot of things were incorrect. And I believe as I, we have to take this forefront now to re-educate and to remind I people. So give thanks for that word sound.
Yes, I mean, when Bob was singing Emancipate Yourself from Mental Slavery, which is actually a quote from Marcus Garvey, if we want to understand it right, there's so many aspects that we have learned through Rastafari, because, of course, everyone, grew up on learning about the Bible, about Christianity, about, Jesus Christ, the Ten Commandments, and everything that is in the Bible. But so many people in this world nowadays call themselves Christians, and therefore, at the same time, are not living up to, what actually is what the Bible teaches, and give thanks for His Imperial Majesty that He revealed Himself to the world in our times as a true Christian king and as a true Christian leader in the true meaning, of what actually the truth and reality of the Bible is about. As I mentioned before, when with my own eyes I read, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah has prevailed. And knowing that these titles are the ones which His Imperial Majesty holds, that made me realize that this connection is real. And, so many, I think, there's the Bible itself, and also in the name of what was called Christianity, there has been, so much, how can I say, perversion of the true faith, and manipulation, and people have been brainwashed because they didn't know that message for themselves, and were forced, to accept the faith which was not just diluted, but perverted in order to serve, the power interests of a particular elite. So this is the truth that Rastafari has been revealing to the world. And had it not been for Rastafari, I think so many people would have even lost faith in the true meaning of the message of the Bible and Christianity itself.
Yes, I agree. You know what, Brother Uwe Banton? I believe we have a responsibility now to make sure that we are reminding I family how to live in uprightness, how to live, be good, how to live, do good. Word, sound, and power, it's important for our liberty, for I liberty, to stand firm, to remember the principles of His Imperial Majesty, to remember what we are supposed to do and how we're supposed to live within, not only within ourselves, but within the world. And unfortunately, we don't have any control over them and those who use Rasta for their own device, who use Rasta as a way to go around life. We don't have responsibility for them and those. However, our eyes are open, Brother Uwe Banton, and we see. And because we see, we have a responsibility to, of course, not do what they are doing, but to do what is right. To do what is right. So give thanks for the word sound. Forward.
Yes, when we say, like how Bob said, how Marcus Garvey said, emancipate yourself from slavery, it is important and crucial for each one of us, to learn to think for ourselves and not just, repeat and follow what others give us, and this is the true emancipation from mental slavery, develop our intellect, develop our mind, and focus our spirit on the source of truth and light, so that we can distinguish between lies and truth, between deception and reality, between, if you want to call it, light and darkness, veil of darkness, if you want to call it that.
It is inevitable, Brother Uwe Banton, that we must not allow ourselves to be fooled. We must have that internal strength to do what is right. Because we all know what's good and what's not good. We all know this. And it is up to I and I to do right. It is.
We know it, but because of the way how this world is run, yeah, and the way how this world is dominated, by villains, by criminals, by people who pervert the faith, this is how many of us become weak, become confused, towards what is right and what is wrong. And this is how we should, break the spell, by, you know, sharing the message, this powerful message of Rastafari, and Rastafari, even the message of His Imperial Majesty, the everything that is connected, to Rastafari. There's so much truth, and it made me, search for the truth myself. It has inspired many others to want to search for the truth themselves, and this is, I think, what we should inspire people to do. Learn to think for yourself.
Learn to think for yourself. As you were talking, I thought about the words of I and I being the pillars, I and I being the gatekeepers of Rastafari to help others, as you just mentioned, that because of the world and how things has, and I'm going to also include because of traumas, when many people are affected by situations due to trauma, and that impacted their overall thought process, how they solve problems, how they communicate, how they go about in the world. I would say that, Brother Uwe. And
Definitely.
yeah, I've many people do not know this, and I'm going to share this right now. I've been in the mental health field for 17 years. I put on the covenant when I was 17 years old, and I'm 53 now. And I would say through the journey of Rastafari from I was 17 and where I am now, I'm 53, I have remained my personality, the faith, how, especially as the empresses and the expectation within Rastafari. I give thanks for the discipline. I give thanks. No one is perfect, but I do give thanks for how I am now. And then also, I talked about the catalyst earlier on, but I am that catalyst of change, even within the field that I've been working in, and been able to help hundreds and hundreds, and I still continue to help hundreds of people heal through domestic violence awareness and prevention, through therapy. I see, as what you were talking about of the world and what Rastas and how many have gotten polluted, we just have to remind ones about the word, sound, and power, because that is what our responsibility is supposed to do, Brother Uwe Banton. We are to remind I and I, and that's the best that we can do. Do you agree?
Yes, definitely. And we have to remind that one another, strengthen each other's faith, and in particular for the sake of our children, because the faith that we have and the way we are, doing our best to raise our children, the world that we are living in is far from being perfect. And, they are faced with all kind of, propaganda and confusion and pollution each and every day. So they are going through these challenges, and it remains to be a huge challenge, to not just for our own selves, to maintain our mental, health balance, but also for our children in particular, because everyone individually, we are all different. Some of us, go through in life and, nothing can really, trouble them, but some of us, everyone different. We are different in sensitivity towards, influence and everything that is going on in our lives. So it is in particular important for also the next generation, and meaning our children and their children and the next generations to come.
Yeah, it is important. It is. Guidance, protection, word, sound, and power. We have to remember to uplift, and we have to remind them that we are here to support them no matter what. And we also have to be patient with ourselves, Brother Uwe Banton. Patience that when we are assisting others, many will not get it immediately. For some people, it may take a week, it may take weeks, months, it may take years, but we have to be patient in the process. And we have to be patient with ourselves first. So give thanks for the word sound. So I'm going to play so that way they can hear some of the lyrics to The People Need to Be Free. All right?
Okay.
Give thanks for the word sound once again.
Okay. That's the fire.
The people need to be free.
The people need to be free, yeah. The people need to be free. The people need to be free, yeah. The people need to be free. Free from all war and agony, yeah. The people need to be free.
So true.
Pain and misery, yeah. The people need to be free, yeah. This has been going on for too long. The war against the land is on. The darkness is trying to conquer the light. Wrong is trying to be right. Deception and manipulation have taken over each and every nation. Stepping through this time of revelation, awaiting of redemption. The people need to be free, yeah. The people need to be free. The people need to be free, yeah. The people need to be free. Free from our pain and misery, yeah. The people need to be free. Free from all war and agony. People need to be free, yeah. Yes, truth alone can set you free. And things are not what they used to be. The chains and shackles of mental bondage taking their toll and running rampage. Now tell me who is gonna pay for the damage now that the people are in an outrage as we're entering into a new age. A new age. The people need to be free, yeah. The people need to be free. The people need to be free, yeah.
So you're listening to Brother Uwe Banton. The people need to be free. I have another one that I want to share at this time.
People need to be free. Free from free your mind. Free your mind. Get yourself together. Now is the time. The sooner you wake up, the sooner you'll be fine. You got to free up your mind, yeah. Free your mind. Free your mind. Get yourself together. Now is the time. The sooner you wake up, the sooner you'll be fine.
Brother Uwe Banton, tell the audience about this track, please.
Free up your mind and bend your thoughts in the right direction. So I say, I guide, I and I. Only love will see us through.
Oh,
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it is connected to what we reasoned about earlier,
Yeah.
to free our mind and learn to think ourselves, which is, learn to also, spiritually grow. Because if we don't grow spiritually, we find it very hard, to distinguish and to survive, between good and evil, if you want to put it like that, or to differentiate in this world about between lies and illusion. So yeah, we got to free our minds and come to truth and reality. You know, learn about the truth, the truth. Of Jah love.
Absolutely. Free your mind, learn about the truth of Jah love, be open to constructive criticism, be available. Um, we have to be mindful of the possible excuses that we were making, and be honest about where we are in life, Brother Uwe Banton. A lot of times when people are not honest about their reality, they continue to fall into a pattern of I stuck is the word that I'm looking. Complacency. They become into that habit, and it's not productive. And I think if one allows themselves to free their mind, to be open, to be transparent, to be honest, I believe that's how you can move forward and you can heal. That's when I see the title of this song, Free Your Mind. You have to be authentic and you have to be real, even if being real doesn't feel good, Brother Uwe Banton.
Yeah, and also, to train ourselves, and to allow ourselves to go into the process of, questioning our own feelings in particular, and to overcome, to process our traumas, the misconception that we, all have been exposed to and grew up, be ready to question yourself, everything that, that you grew up learning, but trust your heart, and trust also that there is, a voice inside of you, inside of each and every one, that guides you. You need to learn to listen to that voice, because of course, we all have many thoughts and ideas and all kind of voices, that, just to imagine, when we are in our inner dialogue, then we probably, in our minds, we are hearing the voice, of our parents, what they taught us, of our teachers, the pastors or whatever. But, within or with the news or whatever it may be, but, we have to find that inner balance. That is why spirituality, as you mentioned before, is so very important, to find that inner balance, that, learn about your God, learn about the true God, and who, he is, and what he's asking for, from each and every one of us. And then you'll find true peace and forgiveness, humility, empathy,
Absolutely. When I was in St. Croix, and I worked at the jail for 5 years as the mental health coordinator. Yeah, and the licensed clinical social worker, she and I became best friends. And she is from Jehovah's Witness background. And you know what, Brother Uwe Banton, as I said, we became best friends. It's not about what one decides, it's about the word sound, because the word sound is what connects us, Brother Uwe Banton. There's so many people that I respect because of what they believe in, okay? And I am not here to judge anyone. I know who I am, and when it comes to Rastafari, I will give I that respect and that credit. And everyone else who is of of faith and everyone else who knows the word sound, as long as you are respectful to me, I'm going to be respectful to you as well. Because that's what life is all about. And when you talked about knowing thyself and trusting, I thought about, you have to trust the process. You have to trust yourself. And I know it's hard, especially if you grew up with certain messages saying you had to rely on other people for your direction. So it's hard for many people to even to even look within, because they never had an opportunity to look within, because they always relied on other people direction, Brother Uwe Banton, right? So I get that part. But in coming full circle, we have to trust the process. We have to trust ourselves. And if someone is speaking the word sound in goodness and in faith, you could connect with that person. You can, because I'm a living testimony. I really am. I am a living testimony that you can do it and it could happen.
True.
For your
mind. If you have if you have true love inside of you, you cannot be prejudiced towards others, regardless of their faith or background or whatever. And our the perfect example is His Imperial Majesty. His Majesty never went around, trying to judge, others based on their faith. What mattered for His Imperial Majesty, if people were good, doing good works, and that is doing the will of God, doing what is right before God. And I think it is not something that is just limited to one particular faith,
I agree. As I said, I am a defender of the faith of Rastafari since I was 17 and I'm 53. And this is I. And I also want to say I love everyone. Seeing? I respect everyone. Seeing? It's not about I and I going around preaching to people or demanding from others, you better seek His Imperial Majesty and you better. That is not what I and I is supposed to do. And I like when you said, you're free from prejudice, and we're here to support each other. I want to take this time to give thanks to all of the listeners on YouTube. I see Jamex Ramirez. He's been on here faithfully, and when we had the comment, he said, "Well said, Uwe Banton." So, Brother Jamex Ramirez, he's a faithful supporter of Real Vibes Radio and for Alkebulan Empress Sounds, and everyone else who's on here. Just give thanks for tuning in with Brother Uwe Banton.
Yes, I respect.
Yeah, I'm gonna
give thanks.
Go on.
No, give thanks. I just acknowledge, yeah.
Sure. And to everyone else. So I'm gonna let everyone hear some more.
What is wrong with our societies? There's way too much police brutality and no love for humanity. We need more international morality. Yeah, now is the time to take a stand. There's human rights to defend. Yeah, yes, we got to be free. Yeah,
we have to be free. Free your mind.
Bend your thoughts in the right direction.
Lead your thoughts in the right direction. For I and I.
Only love will see us.
Only love will see I and I true. Free up.
Bend your thoughts in the right direction.
Get your thoughts in the right direction. Uwe Banton. That's right. welcome, Jamex Ramirez. Give thanks once again. Free up. Free up. Get your thoughts in the right direction. Everything is about your thoughts. That's where it starts from. Once you are creating and you have positivity in your thoughts, then it's going to affect your mood, and then it's going to affect your actions. But if you have negativity, you can never strive with the negativity messages. You cannot. It's not possible for you to move forward with that. So you have to be more focused, and you have to be able to catch your thoughts in the process, because you're going to feel it. And it's only you, no one else. You're the one that's creating these thought patterns. So when Brother Uwe Banton says, free your mind, be mindful of your thoughts. You have to be mindful of your thoughts. It is a must. I want to take this time to say hail up to Brother Mark Wonder. He has it on lock. He says, I know the brethren from Germany. Big up.
Mark Wonder. I'm a brethren, Mark Wonder. Bless up yourself, man. What a joy, what a joy.
Yes, Brother Mark Wonder has always supported Alkebulan Empress sounds. We're so grateful for him. You know, the Dragon Slayer, the lyrical context, the positivity, how to live. Brother Mark Wonder, once again, give thanks for the strength, as always, supporting Alkebulan Empress sounds and Brother Uwe Banton.
Big heart of love, my brother, Mark Wonder.
Yes.
Yeah, man, a long time, but I'm happy to know that you're tuning in, man. Wow.
Yes.
What a joy.
It is always, it is a joy. Give thanks, Brother Mark Wonder. So speaking about artists and collaboration, I'm going to play a next track with you. It's called Harbor Shark, and it's with you and Prince Allah. Tell us about this experience with working with the living legend, Prince Allah.
Okay, for this particular production, I have to say I was not in the studio with Prince Allah for this, but I have met Prince Allah, but that was, let me just think back, I think in 2009 in Switzerland at the Montreux Jazz Festival, where, you know, they had a particular reggae program which was organized by Brother Asher Selector from Switzerland, Geneva. And I had a very good time with Prince Allah, you know, who's a very, very article bridging, you know, very kind bridging, very loving bridging. But for this production, this song, this recording in particular, we were not in the studio together, but instead, my good friend Martin, who produced this track, did this recording with Prince Allah when Prince Allah was over here doing some shows. And so Prince Allah recorded his part of the song, and then I recorded my part independently, you know. So for this production in particular, we didn't go into the studio together, although, you know, listening to the song, you might get the impression that this was the case.
I overs, you know, but even still, I would say what an honor and what a privilege to
definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
To work with such a living legend of his
Yes,
statue,
for
and
real.
he remains constant, right, Brother Uwe Banton?
Yeah, and he has so many legendary songs, you know, like I saw a stone that come from my stone room. You know,
He gave us a special in that one too. Go on.
yeah, and which one again? Which one is the next one? I
yes,
forgot
and
the name
so
of the
many.
song, but
Hmm.
really a legend, living legend.
Yeah, yeah. Give thanks, give thanks. So I'm gonna forward it so people can hear Harbor
Mhm.
Shark,
Okay.
Prince Allah and Uwe Banton.
Oh yeah, nah, nah. Oh yeah. Some of them a gold diver, me cyber. Some of them a money misers. Some of them a chicken hawk in the fowl farm. Some of them a have a shower. There's more than enough for everyone, yeah. But pride and ego gets out of hand, yeah. No for them a backstabber, but Janta are the conqueror, yeah. Some of them a gold diver, me cyber. Some of them a money misers. Some of them a chicken hawk in the fowl farm. Some of them a harbor shark. Some of them a gold diver, me cyber. Some of them a money misers. Now break not yourself of evil doers. Neither be thou envious of the workers of iniquity. Yeah, for they shall soon be cut down like grass. Yes, some of them a gold diver, me cyber. Some of them a money misers. Some of them a chicken hawk in the fowl farm. Some of them have a child.
Brother Uwe Banton, I would like to ask you,
I was just trying to remember that next song from Prince Allah, and I was trying to sing it. It's called Bucket Bottom. Yeah. And he goes, every day bucket go out well. One day the bottom must drop out, yeah.
Aw.
Never gonna miss that water until your well runs dry. Your well runs dry. Such a great song. I love that song so much.
Oh, give thanks. Your voice is ilophil, by the way. Yeah, give
Yeah,
thanks.
all glory to Jah,
True, true, true.
to make of everything.
Yes, all glory, and that goes into me asking you. Like when I spoke with Fred Locks before, he says, "Empress, somebody can give me a rhythm, and as soon as I hear the rhythm, the words just start flying. It's nothing that is planned or anything. What about your process? Tell us, how is it that you come up with the title, you come up with these with your lyrics in the tunes? What is this process for you like?"
There is not like a fixed pattern for this. Many times I meditate on something, um, and in particular, and then like I hear a melody, and then I put the words to that melody. I mean, I hear the melody in my head, and then I put those words to it. Sometimes it's a vibe and a meditation that I'm carrying around, with me. And when I meditate on it, sometimes I sit down with my guitar, I strum two chords on the guitar, and then, a melody comes, and then, sorry, then you have to work, on the rest, the verses and so on, to there's not just one particular pattern that I always go by, it differs. I do a lot of production myself. A lot of my music is my own songs, so songwriting and also production. But sometimes, occasionally, I also work with rhythms from other producers. So it all depends,
Okay, give thanks for that. And as far as would you consider you are independent label?
Yeah. At this moment, I'm releasing this on my own label. Um, yeah, like nowadays everything is like digital and so on. So it has become pretty easy without a huge financial investment. You can release songs very easily. Yet at the same time, in the music distribution business, it's still um, the big players in the music industry. They dominate everything because of their capital. Because we as independent artists, we have very limited resources. When it comes to being able to run ads and banners in the internet. But I believe in music, and I believe in the how you call it, authenticity,
Authenticity, that's right.
authenticity of music, and I believe in real music, and that with real music you can reach the hearts and the minds of the people.
Yeah.
And this has been my motto, so to speak, from ever since.
I agree. Give thanks for that. It seems as though it is much easier. So you mentioned your guitar. So you sing. You also you play the guitar. Are there any other instruments that you do that you engage in?
Well, I mean, I can play a little bit of bass, can play a little bit of keyboards, which mostly for production, when I'm doing production at my own home studio or even at other places. I can do that. I'm not, I cannot really play drums very good, although I can, in a way, program some drums on the computer. But in my production, I still love to have real instruments. So whenever it is possible, I use real instruments. I have never used AI, in any of my production, and I kind of feel I don't feel like I ever want to use AI because this music is music, real music from real people. You know, uh, AI is not that I am per se against the use of AI, but I think AI should always remain to be a tool and not just something that does everything for us. And unfortunately, I think this is how I see it. Unfortunately, nowadays, because of this AI revolution, there's so much AI generated music online. And if you do not have the experience or the background, uh, it's not possible to distinguish between what is AI generated from what is real and authentic,
I
and
agree.
and for us, our generation who have grown up with this music, have known it and followed it up for decades, even the different stages of that reggae music has passed through. But what about young people, the younger generations, who don't have that background? How are they supposed to distinguish between what is real from what is fake? I think that is very, very important that we maintain that authenticity, that realness of the music, before it gets hijacked, but I still believe that good, will conquer evil, or real will cover fake, and truth will always conquer illusion. So I believe that in the end, good and real music will prevail.
Well, earlier on we talked about being true, right? And the realness of life. The reality of it is it's there. It is being hijacked, but we have a responsibility to decide what are we going to accept and what we're not going to accept, right? We know that everything in place, everything in life has its place. So even like when I do, well, in the future, my goal is when I do the TikTok to use the AI to create the flyer. But like what you talked about earlier on, it becomes challenging as I realize that sometimes a lot of the music that is being produced out there, it's not authentic. You can tell the difference when something is AI.
Yeah, we
that.
can tell the difference,
Yeah.
but how are young people supposed to tell the difference?
Yeah.
I came across some music some time ago, some months ago on YouTube, which was something, the whole story, fabricated around it, the album from the Lost Archives, Empress such and such, and then there's a whole story, from the Lost Archives of Studio XYZ in Kingston and recorded in 1978 or blah, 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 and so on. And if you don't read through that, to the very end where it says, this content was created by using artificial intelligence, you won't know.
That's true.
You won't know.
Yeah, reading.
And because we have grown up with this music, and as I said before, we have heard, we have witnessed, the different stages, but so we can tell when we listen to this kind of music, we say, this is supposed to be from 1977, but the style doesn't sound like that.
Right.
That we are able to tell the difference.
That's
but
true.
How are young people supposed to know the difference?
Especially if they grew up like that, yeah.
Not unless we teach them and we show them and we continue to strengthen that foundation, of knowledge and that this the legacy of what this music has, the music has,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Give thanks. A little while ago, you talked about education, right? And you have a track called Education. So I want to play it first, and then I would like you to tell me the inspiration behind this track.
Okay.
You're listening to Brother Uwe Banton, and this is called Education.
When I think about the youths today, I know the children need good education to give them what they need in life to cope with ever-changing situation.
Wait, Brother Uwe Banton, can I have an a cappella, please?
You kind of catch me off guard because I haven't sung this song for some time, but I think when I think about the youths today, I know the children need good education to give them what they need in life to cope with ever-changing situation. Teach the youths the truth, cause that's the only way to build a better nation. And let them make good use from what they learn to all the coming generation. Yeah, the only way to guarantee more equal opportunity, encourage creativity, fulfill responsibility. So let them know their history, their truth, and their identity. One God, one aim, one destiny. The only way we can be free, cause knowledge is power, yeah. Pass it on every minute, every hour, yeah. Pass it on, give them the right books to devour, yeah. Pass it on, so more blessings can shower. Pass it on, yeah.
Yes, give thanks. That was fabulous. That was fabulous. I say the message is in the music. No, well, you did a fabulous job, okay? Like, seriously. So even I asked you what was the inspiration, but you sang it.
So
give thanks, give thanks.
Yes.
Was there anything you would like to add before I continue to play, or are you okay with this?
No, I'm okay with this. You can play it. Continue.
Okay,
Yeah.
give thanks.
One destiny, the only way we can be free, 'cause knowledge is power. Pass it on every minute, every hour. Pass it on, give them the right books to devour. Pass it on, so more blessings can shower. Pass it on, yeah.
I want to say give thanks. I see Alex is on here. CC Flava, she is also my sister, and we represent Alkebulan Empress Sound. So CC Flava out of St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. Brother Uwe Banton, she has it on lock. I would like you to give CC Flava a message at this time, please.
So when you hear these lines I sing, then you should know.
She said, I'm sorry.
Yes, I was saying my sister, CC Flava, she has it
Okay.
on lock out of St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands, and I would like
Yes.
you to give her a message, please.
Oh, my sister, I'm happy that you're tuning in. I think I've seen your face in one of the videos, from which I've seen from Alkebulan radio show, and I'm happy that you're also tuning in, and give thanks for having me on your program. It's a joy.
Yes, Rastafari love. Give thanks and welcome again.
Rastafari.
Yes, I see Alex is on as well, and he's been commenting, so give thanks for the strength.
Every hour, pass it on, give them the right books to devour. Pass it on, so more blessings can shower.
Brother Uwe Banton, I want to be respectful of your time. About how many more minutes would you like? Or can you do?
About 24 minutes,
Okay.
20 more minutes.
All right.
Is that okay?
That is totally okay. Give
Okay.
thanks.
Give thanks.
Ignorance, illiteracy, no. We know I no more. Incapable hypocrisy. Terrible, what are you fighting?
Education.
To weed shoes on your feet. Try to fulfill your basic needs. Leak-proof rooftop clothes on the back. No question how to skip my dad. Knowledge is power.
And Alex said this is also part of educating all, young and adults. Give thanks.
Power. Pass it on, so more blessings can shower. Pass it on. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
In it every hour. Pass it on.
Pass it on.
Right books to devour.
Share. Sharing is caring, right, Brother Uwe Banton?
Yes, I.
You got to pass it on, yeah. Why won't you pass it on, yeah? You better.
So, Brother Uwe Banton, I want to say something about this track is 11th of September, right? And I remember the reason why I'm playing this is because I was a teacher in Brooklyn at this time. I was working at South Low Projects as at Nat Agile Daycare Center as one of the teachers there. And I remember when this happened, and I had a teacher's aide and my assistant teacher, and they were in another area, and they came running to me in the classroom, and they was like, at that time my maiden name, Miss Perez, did you hear what happened? Of course I didn't hear what happened because I'm working with the children. So this particular day, it has always had emotions for me for this particular day. And of course we know it's the Ethiopian New Year, right? That's the celebration. This is I and I opening up for goodness and for wealth in terms of I and I liberty and how we should be. So the duality of life, Brother Uwe Banton, the duality of life is real. The duality of life is real.
Yes.
The duality of life is real. So tell us about this particular track. How come you livicated this song? How come?
Yeah. Um, well, to be honest, on that very day when this happened in 2001, um, in my mind, I wasn't aware of the fact that it was Ethiopian New Year. It kind of slipped my mind. Although I should have been aware, but it wasn't something that at that moment it kind of struck me. It was only after when I reasoned with an Ethiopian brother of mine that he said to me, it was Ethiopian New Year, and then I kind of, said, wow. And, the whole symbolism, behind it, let alone it being the Ethiopian New Year, but, for this particular building to be demolished, which was a symbol of, world trading and also of the capital power of, the US, and whether we, let's say, whether we want to accept the official story or not,
Right.
but the fact alone, the symbolism behind it, that this symbol of wealth and of trade and of power, came down, before the eyes of the whole world,
Yeah.
and then coinciding at the same time with the Ethiopian New Year, that later on, inspired me to do a song about it, because it's definitely a day all of us you said you were a teacher in Brooklyn, that means you were in the same city
Absolutely.
where this thing occurred. I watched this thing on TV, but yet at the same time, it had this impact, all over the world. And we still, as Rastafari in particular, we have a very, September 11th has a very positive meaning for us, being that it's, the beginning of the Ethiopian New Year. So you mentioned the duality of life, so in life, everything is not always just black or white, or positive or negative, sometimes, within the midst of something bad, there can be something good, just like how, if you want to put it in another parable, like how, a seed has to go into the soil and die before it grows, so we, instead of just taking everything negative and this being like entirely like a day of symbolizing this destruction and the death and the devastation and cruelty of what happened, it's still a day where I should be joyful, not about what happened, but just the fact alone that it's the Ethiopian New Year, and the New Year is always a new beginning and the beginning of new hope.
Right. Right. Yeah, and just honoring the day as a remembrance, because this is what I Liberty has always been. It's just the unfortunate other part of what transpired that day. So yeah, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks.
Yes, sir.
And so I am a godmother to my godson, and his godfather was unfortunately in the building at that time. So so for me, yeah, I personally lost someone that I knew. We always honor. We cherish the memories, right, Brother Uwe Banton? When someone is no longer in the flesh, yes, we accept the realities of sorrows and sadness. However, the mind is so magnificent, Brother Uwe Banton, that we can change it in the split of a second to something that makes us feel good. So I do give thanks that I cherish the memories that we've had with Brother Ivan. That was his name, Brother Ivan. May he rise in Zion. So give thanks for the livocation.
Rastafari.
Rastafari, yeah.
Remember, it was the 11th of September when took the session at the World Trade Center, and it was New Year's Day in Ethiopia. This is a day I will always remember. It was the 11th of September when took the session at the World Trade Center, and it was New Year's Day in Ethiopia. This is a day I will always remember. It was the 11th of September when took the session at the World Trade Center. New Year's Day in Ethiopia. This is a day I will always remember. It was the 11th of September when took the trashing at the World Trade Center, and it was New Year's Day. This is a day I will always remember. Yes, children, there's no need to be afraid. 'Cause look, Jah is always by your side.
Jah is here.
Will never make you dash your foot against no stone.
I love this one. I love this one.
Jah is here.
You know you're going to have to give me an acapella, right?
For real.
For real.
Okay. Even though, I told you the other day, I found it interesting that you, in particular, you picked this song, because it's also, it's about 20 years old, and it's a song I haven't performed for ages on stage, but, since you played it, it made me even listen, sometimes you listen back.
Yeah.
I listen back even my own songs, and it's like I'm listening to them differently, than how I used to sing them.
Sure.
I used to see them at that time, and I give thanks actually for, ones like the I, rediscovering this music and reminding me that the work and the hours and the sweat, invested into this was not in vain, and that it still touches people in this time, and I really give thanks for that.
I grateful because let me tell you this right now, Brother Uwe Banton. This is one of your songs that you are going to perform from now on at every show that you do. Either open it or close or in between, because listen to the message as what we were talking about in the earlies of this interview, this reasoning. It's about spirituality. So you are reminding you're reminding the world of who is. And for me, it needs to be shared during every show that you do. Yeah, that's my opinion, of course. But of course, But give thanks for the rediscovery, and give thanks that you are looking and feeling it differently now. Like you mentioned 20 years ago. Yeah, but over the years you were not using it as much, but it's like, oh wow. And you think about your mindset is at a different stage in development right now, Brother Uwe Banton, so I appreciate love this tremendously and give thanks for the word, sound, and power in this song. Okay.
Yes, I give thanks.
You're not going to escape. Can I please have the acapella? Thank you.
Okay, can I go for my guitar?
Absolutely. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this so that way the people can hear, and then go get your guitar and then forward. See?
Okay, do that.
Yeah. So children, don't you have no fear. Jah is here. So children, don't you have no fear. Jah is here. So yes, children, there's no need to be afraid.
I want to say Jamex Ramirez says, big tune indeed.
He will never make you dash your foot against no stone.
Children, don't you have no fear. Okay.
Rastafari.
Whenever you walk to the valley of the shadow of death. Oh,
Yes, Ilafo.
oh, I hope I wasn't in this story. I thought I had muted the mic.
It's okay, brother Uwe Banton. It's totally okay. Please forward when you're ready. It's okay. Yeah.
I was looking to find the right key, but I think I got it. As I said, haven't played it for some time.
I always.
Okay.
Jah is here. Children, don't you have no fear. Jah is here. Children, don't you have no fear. In this your time of revelation, there's so much dreadful things are going on. You see nation fighting against nation. Them are prepared for Armageddon. Yeah. Whenever you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall never fear no evil, for Jah is by my side. Whenever the wicked shall rise against the eye, they shall stumble and fall, 'cause Jah will be there to see his children through. Jah is here. Children, don't you have no fear. No, no. Jah is here. Oh, children, don't you have no fear.
Yeah. That was Ilafo. Give thanks. Give thanks.
Yes, I give thanks.
Right. That was really Ilafo. Give thanks.
I have to. You reminded me that I have to get back on this, get back familiar with this song. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And make it a part of your one of those, like
Well, in particular, trust me. You see, listening back to the song,
yes.
and in particular the verse that I just sang, in this time of revelation, see so much dreadful things are going on. See nation rising against nation. They are prepared for Armageddon. Back in the days, we were kind of
different.
knowing, we read about these things, and we kind of knew and felt that this was going to be real. But we had no idea of when,
Right.
And in what way it was going to take place.
Correct.
And behold, lo and behold, nowadays, you see our political leaders, are just
Yeah.
openly talking about this, So it doesn't surprise us that this is happening, because we have foreseen this, and give thanks, for Jah to have opened our eyes.
Correct.
But it's still something that is very, how can I say it? It's very remarkable. I don't know if to find the right word. I'm struggling to find the right words. But to actually see this, we have to say, give thanks for seeing this, and also, Jah is here. Children don't have no fear,
Yeah.
This is something that we have, we have been told about, that has been prophesied, and we have also been told that we should not be afraid when we see these things. happening, unfolding. So,
You
yeah,
know,
we
brother,
give thanks.
give Rastafari, brother Uwe Banton. This song, it serves as a comfort to me because of the message and the word that I'm going to continue to say. What we were saying before, a reminder. This is a reminder. You know, because sometimes, as I talked about earlier on, our minds drift, our thought patterns drift. That is human nature, for our thoughts to drift. However, with your message, it helps me be grounded, and it helps me to remember, stay focused, stay grounded, and remember His Imperial Majesty Empress Menen. This is, they have your back. They always are going to have your back, and you just do what you need to do in the process of this journey called life. So, brother Uwe Banton, grateful for you, and grateful that you have remained constant in the faith of Rastafari, and you have a standard. Give thanks for having a standard, because enough people within the faith, they struggle with it. So I honor you.
We all struggle, we all struggle. It's not like, this thing is just, we have to be honest, and to
Yes.
say, each and every one of, if you're not going through no struggle, you better check yourself,
Then you're not a
because
human.
something might be wrong. If
Yeah,
you
then you're not a
are
human.
too comfortable in this life and in this world, so the struggle is real,
Yeah.
and the struggle is part of it, and what I think we should do is strengthen each other, because we need each other more than ever before
True.
in this time. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Give thanks for the word sound.
There's no need to be afraid.
So after this, I'll do the one more
Jah is always by your
in
side.
being respectful of your time.
He will never leave you alone. He
Which
will
one are
never
you
make
playing?
you dash your foot against those.
Say it again, please.
Which one are you going to play?
The one that make them get the butter. That's the new release.
Ah, okay. Yes.
Yeah, the new
yes.
release. Yeah.
You have no
Right.
fear. Jah is here. So children, don't you have no fear.
Greetings and welcome. Wig Whack, we have Uwe Banton here with the I&I. And what you can do is you can look at the YouTube video in the very beginning once we are off, so you can get the fullness of the reasoning.
See nation rising against nation. Them are prepared for Armageddon. Whenever you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, don't you ever fear no evil, for Jah is by your side. Whenever the wicked shall rise against the eye, they shall stumble and fall, 'cause Jah will be there to see his children through. Jah
Is here.
So children, don't you have no fear. Jah is here. So children, don't you have no fear.
So children, don't you have no fear. Jah is always going to be by your side. He has you right in his arms. Stand firm, be firm. Trust the I self.
When you rise up early morning,
Make sure you say give thanks.
you got to give Jah thanks and praise. Come from work right in the evening,
Throughout
you got to give Jah thanks and praise.
throughout the day.
Whenever you walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
Because it's going to happen.
don't you ever fear no evil, for Jah is by your side.
Always.
Whenever the wicked shall rise against the eye, they shall stumble and fall, 'cause Jah will be there to see his children through. Jah is here. So children, children, don't you have no fear.
All right, Jah is here, so children don't have no fear.
Jah is here. So children, don't you have no fear. Jah is here.
I would like you to introduce this track, Brother Uwe Banton.
The new track, my latest release, is called "Nah Make Them Get the Better Are We," which is straight up Jamaican patois, if you want to call it that, which actually means we're not gonna let them get the better of us, and also in particular, it's meant and to strengthen the faith of the listener in the face of all these trials and tribulations of the world being in turmoil and wars of rumors and wars of rumors of wars and wars going around in all corners of the world and it's to give strength because we cannot we should strengthen and help each other, to not to fall in despair, but to grow in strength and in faith, Almighty Jah is in control, David will still beat Goliath, good over evil. So yeah, that's what the song is about. And the video, just for your information, the video was done last year in November when I passed through Ethiopia. In Addis Ababa and also Lalibela for first time ever, which was like a long time dream for me to come true, building that ancient city, holy city of Lalibela. So that's where the video was done,
Nice. Give thanks. So since this is our last track, I would like you to give the world the message at this time before I play this track. And I want to say once again, give thanks for the iWorks and everything that you have done in the music industry.
Mm-hmm. Well, give thanks for having me. It's been an honor and definitely a joy and a pleasure to be your guest on this show, and I would like to also encourage you to keep up the good works of spreading, the word of Rastafari through reggae music to the entire world. And this is what we must continue to do. And, just like how our Imperial Majesty, told the world that it is good that you are here with me to record this picture of me in my palace garden at Addis Ababa, to show the world that even in this now 21st century, with faith, courage, and a just cause, David will still beat Goliath. And the message of Rastafari has not changed from those days up until now. And before I'm going to try to formulate like a new way of, what my message is about or to share what I have. If you don't mind, I would like to give another a cappella of this new track, one verse, and before you play it. Yes. And I think we let the music speak for itself because the message is in the music.
Sure, please.
Okay.
We now make them get the better we know. Can't you see this world is going crazy? Now make them get the better we know. Can't you see this world is going crazy? Now make them get the better. Satan to snatch out their soul and to deceive their hearts. Gotta see them and come right from the start. It's better to be wise, not just to be smart. So better you go till the side, with your eyes is all the while. Just wanna see the children smile. Now make them get the better we know. Can't you see this world is going crazy? Now make them get the better we know. Can't you see? Can't you see? Now make them get no, 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 no. This world is going crazy. Now make them get no, 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 no. This world is going crazy. So nobody know for surprise. A Rastafari stand alone in this your judgment. Now make them get
And so big heart of love to all the listeners, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And yeah, much love to each and every one. And remember, Jah is King, you know, and good over evil. He will not, you know, lead us astray. He will not. His promise, he will not fail us, you know. So hold on to what you got, your faith, and yeah, focus on Jah. Don't get distracted by what is going on in this world, you know.
Focus on Jah and do not be distracted. Do your best not to be distracted of what's going on in this world. Give thanks, Brother
Yes,
Uwe
sir.
Banton.
Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Give thanks for having me on the show.
It is a pleasure. Give thanks for your time as well.
Rastafari.
Hey, yeah, Rasta. It's still within them long time, you know. So nobody know for surprise. A Rastafari stand alone in this your judgment. Now make them get down, 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 down. We know. Can't you see this world is going crazy? Could I never get that down? Make them get the better. We know. Can't you see this world is going crazy? Now make them get the better. Could I never get that down? Can't you see this world is going crazy? I go over here. What kind of a stunt them a pull off? You know, she said that them a provoke Jacarata when they aiming at her son and her daughter to snatch at their soul and to deceive their heart. That I see them a come right from the start. It's better to be wise, not just to be smarter. So better you go till the side. If your eyes it's all the while. Just wanna see the children smile. We can't make them get no, 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 no. Can't you see this world is going crazy? We can't make them get the better we know. Can't you see this world is going crazy? We can't make them get the better we know. Can't you see this world is going crazy? We ain't gonna let them get the better we know. Can't you see this world is going crazy? And after all that is right and wrongfully said and done, there's nothing really new under the sun. All has been there since time begun. Since time begun. Oh, since time begun. So in this, my brother, let's not be mistaken. Cause there's no need for us to feel forsaken. Cause in your glory we must fully be awakened. Awakened. Awakened, yeah. Now make them get the better we know. Can't you see this world is going crazy? Now make them get the better we know. Can't you see? Can't you see now?
All right, all right, all right. So I want to say to everyone, give thanks for the eye support. You were listening to Uwe Banton on This Reasoning with Alkebulan Empress Sounds, Empress Isheba. Give thanks for the love. Give thanks for the support. Brother Uwe Banton, love, love, love.
Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Give thanks and praises.
All the time.
Jaja.
This minute.
Rastafari. Selassie.